There are people moving through this world who carry something that time simply cannot seem to touch. You may be one of them. Someone looks at you, really looks, and something inside their mind pauses. Not because of anything you said, not because of what you are wearing, but because the number attached to your name just does not seem to match what they are seeing or feeling when they are near you. They ask, "Wait, how old are you actually?" And when you tell them, they go quiet for a second. That flicker of disbelief settles on their face. That expression that says the math is not quite adding up. Maybe that has happened to you more than once. And maybe when it does, you brush it off. You say something like, "Oh, it is probably just genetics," or "I drink a lot of water." You laugh, you deflect. But somewhere underneath that, there is a quiet sense that it is something else, something you cannot fully name, but have always sensed was there. Something running deeper than anything you can buy or apply or schedule. And here is the truth that most people never actually say out loud. Some people do not just look younger than their age. They are younger in a way that time genuinely struggles to reach. Not on the surface, not in the mirror, but in the way they carry themselves through a room, in the quality of their presence, in the way they still feel the world rather than simply endure it. Carl Jung, one of the most significant psychological thinkers of the 20th century, believed something profound about the aging process. He believed that how a person ages is not simply a biological event. It tends to be a psychological one, an emotional one, possibly even a spiritual one. The way you process what life brings you, the relationship you maintain with your own inner life, the degree to which you remain genuinely alive to yourself, these factors, Jung suggested, may shape the aging experience in ways that go far deeper than anything a routine or a product could address. And today, that is exactly what we are going to explore together. 5 real reasons you look younger than your age. Not the reasons people expect, not the ones you have already read about, the ones that tend to live just below the visible surface. And when you finally see them clearly, something in how you understand yourself tends to shift. In this video, you are going to discover what psychological and emotional patterns may actually be influencing the way you appear and feel in the world over time. You will explore why bitterness can age a person faster than almost any external force. How the relationship you carry with your own inner child could be more visible than you have ever realized. And why authenticity, that quiet, unself-conscious realness, may be one of the most quietly powerful things keeping you young. You will also look at the connection between internal calm and the face you present to the world, and why choosing to keep growing, even quietly, even invisibly, tends to do something to a person that the years simply cannot undo. If you are still watching this, you are already part of the rare few who are willing to face what most people spend their entire lives running from. 97% of people scroll past content like this, not because it does not reach them, but because it reaches them too deeply. If this is already moving something inside you, subscribe to Carl Jung Psychology right now and turn on notifications. What you are about to hear does not just explain why you look younger than your age. It will permanently change how you see yourself. So let us begin with the first reason. You did not allow life to harden you. This one deserves real attention because it is something most people will never be fully honest with themselves about. There is a specific kind of hardness that tends to accumulate in people over time. and it is something entirely different from strength. Strength is something you build through experience. Hardness is something that builds up around you, usually without your conscious permission, usually without you even noticing the process happening. It arrives gradually, one disappointment at a time, one betrayal, one plan that collapsed, one version of the future that quietly stopped being possible. You can see it in people. You can feel it when you are in the presence of someone who has allowed life to close them off. It is there, in the tightness around their eyes. It is in the way they respond to inconvenience, to small failures, to the ordinary disappointments of being alive. It is in an exhaustion that has nothing to do with how much they slept. Life kept arriving, and instead of finding a way to move through it, they slowly learned to wall themselves in, to stop feeling quite so freely, to protect themselves by gradually closing. But here's the thing, you went through things too. That is important to acknowledge, because this is not about the idea that you had it easier or that pain somehow skipped you. You have been hurt. You have been let down. There may have been periods where something in you genuinely broke, at least partially. But somehow, through all of that, you did not fully allow it to solidify you. You still laugh. Not the performed kind, the real kind. The kind that catches you off guard before you have a chance to manage it. You still find something to smile about in an ordinary Tuesday. You still feel the small things, the specific warmth of a good conversation, the way light moves late in the afternoon, the particular quiet pleasure of something simple going exactly right. That is not an accident, and it is almost certainly not luck. It tends to reflect a choice, one you likely kept making without fully realizing you were making it. Jung wrote about this in terms of how people relate to their own suffering. He distinguished between a person who integrates their experiences and a person who simply accumulates them. When something difficult is genuinely integrated, metabolized, processed, allowed to become part of the fuller story of who you are, it can become wisdom, depth, even a particular kind of warmth that only comes through having been tested. When it is not integrated, when it simply sits there undigested and slowly crystallizing, it tends to become bitterness. And bitterness may age a person in ways that have almost nothing to do with the year they were born. You have probably observed this. Someone who is 25 but carries the emotional weight of someone much older, always bracing, always a degree of irritation just beneath the surface, always tired in a way that sleep cannot seem to repair. And then someone else, possibly older in actual years, who has this quality of lightness about them. They feel easy to be near, not naive, not uninformed about how difficult life can genuinely be, but somehow still open, still soft in the way that matters, still here in the present, rather than carrying every old wound into every new moment. That is emotional flexibility, and it tends to show on the face. It tends to live in the eyes. People feel it from you, even when they cannot articulate what exactly they are responding to. The softness you chose to preserve, that may be one of the most real explanations for what they are noticing. Take a moment right now. Be honest in the comments. Are you someone who managed to stay soft, or did life gradually construct something harder in you over time? There is no judgment in either answer, just honest reflection. And sometimes naming it out loud is where something quietly begins. There is something else worth saying here, because this idea of integration, of genuinely processing rather than simply accumulating what life delivers, is something Jung returned to repeatedly throughout his work, and it deserves more than a passing mention. He observed that the people who carry their suffering with a particular kind of grace tend to share one quality. They did not try to eliminate the difficulty. They did not insist on pretending it had not happened, and they did not allow it to become the defining, totalizing story of who they were. Instead, they allowed it to pass through them, not painlessly, not quickly, but genuinely. And what tends to remain, once something has actually been processed, rather than frozen in place by denial or hardness, is not the wound itself, but the knowledge that you survived the wound. And that knowledge, quiet, settled, not performed for anyone, may be part of what people are reading on your face without knowing that is what they are seeing. There is a particular quality of depth that only seems to arrive in people who have genuinely been through something and come out the other side still recognizably themselves, still present, still capable of warmth and depth. In a face does not tend to read as old, it tends to read as real. And real has a way of being quietly, inexplicably compelling in a world where most of what people encounter has been carefully managed. The second reason: you are not perpetually at war inside your own mind. This one is subtle, but it tends to leave marks on the face in ways that accumulate before most people ever recognize what is happening. There is a particular kind of stress that has nothing to do with how occupied your calendar is or how demanding your responsibilities are. It is the kind that lives inside the mind even when the external situation is completely still. The loop of what if, the constant low-level simulation of outcomes that may never arrive, the replaying of conversations that already ended. Some people are genuinely depleted before they even rise in the morning, not from what they did the day before, but from what their mind was already running through while they were supposedly resting. And the face eventually reflects that. The body holds it. Tension tends to settle in specific places: the space between the brows, the jaw, the way the shoulders carry themselves. There is a look that certain people develop over time, a quality of perpetual bracing, as though they are always slightly prepared for something to go wrong. And with enough years, that bracing posture becomes the resting face. But you may still have a complex and active mind. That is not the point. The point is something more specific. Somewhere along the way, you developed some version of the understanding that not every thought deserves to be followed. Not every worry earns the full weight of your attention. Not every uncomfortable feeling requires an immediate response or a complete resolution. You have some capacity for this. You can allow certain things to simply pass. You can feel something, acknowledge it, and release it without constructing an entire project around the discomfort. Jung explored this in the context of what he called the tension of opposites, the idea that the psyche is always holding multiple, sometimes contradictory truths simultaneously, and that a certain psychological maturity may involve learning to sit with that tension rather than urgently trying to eliminate it. The person who can hold uncertainty without being overwhelmed by it tends to carry themselves differently. It can appear in the softness around their eyes, even under pressure, in the openness of their expression, even when life is complicated and unresolved. Genuine calm is not emptiness. It is not a form of indifference or withdrawal from the complexity of being alive. It tends to function more like a deep internal steadiness, a quality of not being entirely swept up in every passing current. And that steadiness, over time, may look different. It may feel different to the people around you. There is something in a truly calm person that others often respond to without fully understanding why. A sense that being near them quiets something in themselves that they could not quiet on their own. If you have developed that even partially, you likely already know what this means in your body. And here is what is rarely said about it. That inner calm may not just be how you feel internally. It can be visible. It tends to live in how your face rests when no one is watching, when nothing is being performed for anyone. And here is the part almost no one talks about openly. That quality of inner calm is not simply something you either have or do not have. It tends to be something that can be cultivated, slowly, imperfectly, through accumulated choices about what deserves your energy and what does not. Every time you chose not to carry something that was never yours to carry in the first place, you were building something. And that building may show in ways you have never fully given yourself credit for. Stay with this, because what comes next may be the most quietly emotional of all 5. If this is already landing somewhere real, subscribe to Carl Jung Psychology right now. What we explore here has a way of finding you at exactly the moment you are ready to hear it. The third reason, your inner child is still genuinely alive in you. Jung introduced the concept of the inner child not as a sentimental metaphor, but as a real psychological entity, a living dimension of the psyche that holds the original capacity for wonder, spontaneous curiosity, genuine playfulness, and uncalculated joy. He believed that one of the most quietly significant things that can happen to a person, one of the more invisible losses, is the gradual suppression of this part of themselves in the name of becoming a functioning adult. And it is something that tends to happen without ceremony, without anyone formally giving permission. Life accumulates weight, responsibilities multiply, seriousness becomes the default mode, and at some point along the way, the person stops asking questions purely out of curiosity. They stop finding things genuinely delightful for no practical reason. They stop playing, not just literally, but in the deeper sense of engaging with life openly, without a predetermined outcome in mind. And when that happens, something in their energy begins to age in a way that precedes anything physical. But there is still something in you that has not entirely gone along with that trajectory. There is still a part of you that laughs at something unexpected, and laughs genuinely from somewhere unguarded. That gets quietly excited about something small and allows itself to show it. That notices beauty in places where efficiency-minded people stop looking. That still feels life, not just observes it from a managed distance, but actually feels it. And that is genuinely uncommon, because most people do not age physically first. They age internally. They stop being curious. They stop being moved. They stop being present in that alive, open, childlike way that has nothing to do with being young in years and everything to do